I'll tell him in a second. Are you ready? How does a mathematician sit? Can you show me?
What are we doing?
Well, I have a problem that I'm going to have you solve with me today. So I know we've been working on using strategies as mathematicians, and one of our strategies I'm going to see how you use today. So this is the desk this morning that's in our class, and what do you see that's on it? Some books, right? Now look what happened this afternoon. What do you notice? Some books got taken away.
We're learning about clocks in class.
Yes, I know. We're kind of doing something a little bit different. And that's okay, because we're thinking about problem solving. And that's something you're working on as a mathematician.
Does that say?
Well, is that the focus?
No.
So there were some books on this desk, and my question for you is, how many books were taken away? So what are some things you need to know before you can figure out this problem? What are some questions you have?
Who took them?
Okay, so you might wonder who took them, but remember the question, how many books were taken?
One, two. I was trying to count them.
What are you counting right now?
The book
What is this a picture of? The books that are what?
on the table.
Well, they're both books on the table. Which one do you want to count?
All of them. All the pictures.
Okay, so you want to know how many they had, how many together? Well, let's think about that some more.
I wonder who took the books off the table.
So if you know that books were taken, that means that
someone wanted to read them,
maybe somebody wanted to read them. Okay, let's keep going with that. So there were some books on the table, somebody took some, and now
there's 3 left.
Oh, how many are left? Check that again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There are 5 books left, so that's something that's good to know. 5
Probably 8
books
taken
left. Do we know how many are taken?
No.
We don't know how many are taken.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the table.
Let's count together.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
What does that say?
12.
12 what?
Books. And we see the name on the chair.
Well, you don't really need to see the name on the chair. That's not what the focus is. So if there's 12 books, when did these 12 books get on the table? Did we have these 12 books at the end? Or did we have these 12 books to begin with? To begin with. So how can you set up the problem? I know as a mathematician you've been working on making number sentences.
Clock. Let me see your clock.
No, we're doing this right now. Brain focused as a mathematician. What did I just say? What have you been working on?
Math things.
No.
Math strategies.
Well, strategies, but I just said that you've been working on making number sentences. Writing a number sentence. So how would we write this number sentence? Now that you know that there were 5 books left on the table, we don't know how many were taken.
10 got taken.
Well, how would we write the number sentence first? How could you think about this story?
Write a mystery reader?
Think about a number sentence. A number sentence, remember, is
mystery takers.
You have your start, there's a change, and then you have the result. So let's think, how many books did we have to start with?
12.
Okay, so where do we write that? Yeah, and why?
Because it's the beginning.
That's how many we have to start with. Yeah, so let's write 12 there. Okay, and then what happened to those 12 books?
Took it.
So which operation are we going to use? Are we adding or are we taking away and subtracting?
Subtracting.
So let's write the symbol for subtraction.
When?
After the start. So we're taking away. So what do you think comes next? Read the sentence.
12 taken.
Do we know how many were taken?
No.
So what do we write there if we don't know how many were taken?
A question mark.
Yeah. Yep, and we'll put the dot at the end. So 12 we started with, some were taken, and now,
There was 4.
how many books did you count that were left? I don't think you said 4.
5.
5. Close. Let's work on making that 5 real quick. Ready? That kind of looks like an S. And that's okay. They look somewhat similar. Watch.
Can I trace your S?
Are we making an S?
No. Can I trace your 5?
You can trace it. Start here.
Bandage.
And down and around. Yeah.
And a belly.
All right, so let's read the number sentence.
12. I don't know.
Oh, you know what that says.
12. 12 subtract. We don't know.
Some.
Some. 5.
What did you forget to say, though?
Oh.
What's this symbol called?
Punctuation mark.
What is this sign called in math? Look at it again. 12, take away some.
Equal 5.
Yeah, equals 5. So how would you solve this problem?
Look out for who took the books.
Well, you could wait and see who took them, but we can't do that. We need to figure out right now. We don't have time to wait. How would you start thinking about it? So here are the 5 books. You can see them. That's how many are left. This is how many they had to start with.
Oh, you mean the 12 books?
Mm-hmm.
There's a 5.
There were 12 when? Also, can you stop doing that, please?
At the beginning.
Okay. So we've been working on drawing pictures to help us. What could you draw to help you solve this problem?
I can draw books.
Okay. How many books would you draw? How come?
Pages 12. Swimming. Or there's 12 on the
Are
screen.
you just trying because there's 12 on the screen?
No, we have to draw the number. We have to, because there's 12 books.
Okay, let's start then. Try drawing your 12 books.
One,
2,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, now remember we've been working on this. If you run out of room, just like when you're reading, do you keep going or do you go back down?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, so we have the 12 books. And do we know how many were taken away?
No.
No, we don't know how many were taken away. Do we know how many were left?
Yes.
Yeah,
5.
5. So how could we show that on our picture that 5 were left?
Oh, I have an idea.
Okay.
maybe 8 were taken away and there was 5, but
So you could do like, it's called guess and check. So you think 8 were taken away.
I guess I have to ask this
No, you can do it. You're a mathematician. So you
Oh,
could
no,
use
I'm
that
gonna-
strategy. That's a different strategy we haven't talked about yet. Sometimes you take a guess and you try it and you see if it works. And if it doesn't, then you try again. But what do we know about this problem? There were 12 books, some were taken, and now there are 5. Can you make it in your picture that you drew already? Can you show the 5 that are still on the table? How can you show the 5 that are still on the table? Oh, would we make more though? No.
cross up these.
You could cross some off. When would you stop crossing off? When you...
Figure out the answer.
Well, we already know that. Say more about that when we get the answer. What do you mean?
Figure out. You have to figure out the answer.
But what are you trying to figure out? Because
You're trying to figure out your answer. And
Yeah.
problem.
you are, but what's your answer to this problem? Are you trying to figure out how many are left or how many were taken?
Only taken.
Okay. So we already know something though. We know how many were left, Morgan. So looking at your 12 books that you drew, how can you show the 5 that were left? What could you do?
Cross some off. Let me see how I can do this.
Okay, let's try. So how many are you going to cross off then?
1, 2.
Oh, hang on though. I think you're not really crossing them off, honey. Got it. Okay.
That's what you taught me to cross them off.
Well, I know, but you're kind of not actually crossing them off.
Yeah.
Here's your first one. You started on your second one. And how many are you going to cross off? Think before you do it. But how many are you going to cross off?
Until I find 5.
Until you find 5 left? Okay, let's try it. Thank you. Good strategy.
1, 2.
Okay, so how many are left?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So what happens now when you cross another one off?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, hang on. Try that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
And there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I think you just.
7.
This was your 1, 2, 3. So how many are left now?
5.
5. So you have 5 left. Do you know how many were taken then?
7.
Show me how you know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.
Oh, I think this was just one that kind of got a little big. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7.
So what do you know? Did you
It's
solve
7.
it? 7 what?
7 books.
7 books for what?
Took it.
Oh, so can we put that into the number sentence now?
Yeah.
So how would we say it now?
12 subtract something equals 5.
What's the something? What did you find out?
7.
Oh, I liked your strategy, Morgan, and that was something we've been practicing. Drawing your picture. And you actually did kind of like a guess and check today. But you crossed off until you got back to 5. Nice thinking, Morgan. All right, mathematician, thanks for your help today in solving this problem about the mystery of the books. I appreciate your help. How did you feel about using this strategy, about crossing off until you had 5 left?
Good. Now I
Good.
know. If there's 5, I know 7.
Yeah. And I'm noticing one thing that maybe we can keep working on is when we're drawing pictures, how to make sure we make it clear. We're going to have to come up and talk to one another more about how we draw pictures for math. Because sometimes I'm noticing like this one, you kind of drew it twice, but it was only supposed to be 1. And then when you were counting, you said 8, but it was really 7. It was just hard to tell because your picture looked like 2. Does that make sense? So that's why it's really important when you're drawing pictures to make sure that you can read your picture. Remember, like in writing, you need to be able to read your writing. In math, you need to be able to read your, not just, what did you draw? Your picture. Okay?
Look, there's my blood.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.